this video we will cover starting and stopping the chainsaw.
Okay, just before we start the chainsaw, we'll just go through a couple of points. As we know, this is a petrol tank, oil tank. This is your on-off switch here. Like so, I on, O is off. Then the trigger, you can't press the accelerating trigger until the safety lock has been depressed. So when you're holding it, you hold it like so, and now you can fully compress the trigger. This is the choke. We only need to use the choke on the initial startup, and when you operate the choke, all you do is you pull it out like so till it clicks, and then do not push it back in. What you do on this saw is you activate the trigger lock and compress the trigger, and it will come back automatically. The other thing is the chain brake. When you're going to start the saw, you should always make sure that the chain brake is engaged like so. Okay, this now prevents the chain from rotating around at all. A couple of other points. When you're going to start the chainsaw, never stand up like so and pull the saw like that. Okay, you should always put it on the ground. You can put your foot just on the edge of it there if you like so, and then that is how you start the saw. It's under full control. You're not straining the cord or the starter, and the end of the chainsaw is not going to be being waved around. Okay, so to start the saw, we turn the switch on, push the little eye, and then we pull out the choke, like so if it needs it, and check the brakes on, grasp hold of the starter, and pull it until it engages, and then just give it a brisk pull, like so. You accelerate now, like so, because the brake is on, the chain still has not moved. So you disengage the brake, hold the saw, like so, and pull the top lever towards you, like so. Now when the throttle is squeezed, like so, the chain itself will rotate round. Especially when you first time use, it's always best just to engage it like so and keep it running. Well, what we're looking for here is we're trying to get the oil, to make sure the oil flow from the oil tank through the pump is up onto the chain. What we can do, this could take up to 30 seconds to a minute for that oil to come through. The oil pump is only activated when the chain is turning, so it's no good just leaving it on the ground to get the oil to come through. You do need to accelerate. Now, to make sure the oil is coming through, you can either have a look at the chain, see if you can see the oil, or the other thing you can do is to operate the saw at high speed and just point the nose of the bar in the direction of a solid article. For instance, we've got a root gum here. It's important that you do not touch the bar with anything. And what you should get is a line that comes down on here, which is the oil being thrown out. Now I can see the oil here on this chain. there's oil already coming through. I see it shining on the thing there. So you can either have a look at it and make sure the oil is coming through, or you can do the test on a solid piece of wood. Now underneath the saw is an adjustment for the oil, and here it is here. It's got minimum and maximum. This is to adjust the oil flow which comes through onto the chain. And the screw itself is located down here, like so. So to turn it clockwise, we're looking at the minimum setting, or if we turn it anti-clockwise, we're looking at a maximum setting. Okay, so if you're getting far too much oil through, you can always just turn this down a little bit to reduce the oil flow. It depends on the viscosity of the oil you're using, which will vary where that setting would be. The other thing is, after this has been used the first time, the chain will stretch. So what you do is, after you've used it, now that you can see here now that the chain has stretched that little bit. So what we do now is we need to undo the two nuts with our spanner, like so, and on the opposite side here we turn this in a clockwise direction, like so. It helps if you release it far enough. That's better. And make sure you tighten it up. The last thing, the channel which this chain runs is probably somewhere around about down here. We have a channel now which is getting oil pumped into it, which goes all the way around. We also have an oil line which comes back from about the centre here, back into the fuel tank, or goes through the oil pump into the fuel tank. When you stop the saw, the chainsaw will stop pumping oil. However, the amount of oil left in the channel and chain, even if you put the bar cover on, like so, the oil will run down, drip out, or run down under here and drip out underneath on the saw. So after you finish using the saw, make sure you do not put the chainsaw down on an area that may be affected by some oil dripping from the bottom of the machine. Because as I said, there will be oil left in the channels and on the chain, and it will drain somewhere. If you're going to transport the unit, it's always advisable to drain the oil and fuel from the chainsaw.